Well, would you look at that? Virtus.pro versus LDLC on Mirage. Virtus.pro starting on the T side. Virtus.pro, a team who have had a better showing of themselves than we have seen in previous seasons, but still leaving something to be desired for sure. A team who have fallen out of the top 30 on the HLTV rankings. Neo falling out of the window because he was on fire. Snatchy getting a frag towards CT. Twanu is ready and waiting though with his 3 teammates in mid.
Ooh, another bad start here for LDLC. They just got wrecked by NIP. But Virtus.pro is a very different team to NIP. So I'm going to be very interested to see how the stylistic matchup works between these two. And I'm hoping that we see some great stuff from Snatchy. You know, in the last matchup, we didn't really see great stuff from a dedicated AWPer. Snatchy, though, he's one of those world-class AWP players, especially when he gets going. So that's what I want to see for entertainment. For the sake of entertainment, that is. So Twanu keeping the USP out, something that James talks about every so often, is when you win that first round, you know that the Glock eco is likely coming. You just keep the USP so you can save for AWP. And it'll be a slow one for Virtus.pro. They're just trying to get rid of any grenades from the CT side, do that economic damage, then they'll, after a while, make a push somewhere, try to force some frags. Without utility, though, you can't really expect to get a bomb down, but they have 2 P250s, so that's really the extent of the firepower. And here it is, after waiting a good minutes, they'll be moving into the A-bomb site, and they'll be feeding some kills towards the likes of Logan, and who else do we have there? Alex, and also Twanu with the USP. Oh, got to be careful there. A bit bold, standing on the ticket booth. Even though they have Glocks, you are susceptible to getting wrecked. And well, this is not really ideal. But Twanu's out there with the USP. He doesn't really want to die now, though. He's obviously. Oh no. I have to say, it is quite needless for Twanu to die there, James. You know, you're saving for that AWP. Now he's got to rebuy his Kevlar. He can't get a helmet. Can't get any nades. And he had 2 teammates rotating in with full HP and rifles. Why is he peeking?
I wonder if we will see, depending on the team, because LDLC have had a penchant for the second round force buy, especially when they planted a bomb. But I wonder if we will see some CT sides risk like 2 people on USPs in future to just have much better buys for the main buy round. Alex caught in no man's land. Sometimes it goes wrong. It looks super bad. And there we've got Mirage moving through the corner of the smoke. Twanu not ready for that. So this round has collapsed like a dying star for LDLC very, very quickly indeed. And at this point, they may want to consider stacking a site or saving. We have Logan who's pushed through T spawn to the point where he can return if he's lucky, because the numbers game here is looking pretty great for Virtus.pro. The bomb's been spotted, but they have many advantages. Patch is cutting off the rotation, and that might just be the round.
Yeah, it's a sad shame for LDLC. It's that first, you know, getting behind 2 players immediately. That first engagement or couple engagements was really problematic. That said, this is still a winnable round for Amanek. They're going to be moving the bomb towards him. And he's going to be peaked there. Gets the first kill. Another 1v1. And the round is very winnable. Just spamming through the wood there. Finds the kill onto the bomber. And now Amanek can actually win this round. 40 seconds to go. And he can actually rotate all the way to B if he wants. He's down by the stairs. And Pasha's going to realize this. It's all about timings. Oh, as you can see. Oh, he gets the flick. A 1 versus 3. Amanek. Very fortunate for them to move back into his position, but he's also able to capitalize and kill 3 players by himself. Very impressive.
How on earth did he get a round win out of that? That's crazy. But if you think of the story of Virtus.pro as well, they are not the team who want to have to withstand losing a colossal advantage like that. It was such a horrible situation for LDLC, and now all of a sudden Virtus.pro are in an eco town. Not even SMGs for the team, just pistols, a few grenades. Bomb plant must be mandatory in this situation, although they will have max loss bonus actually in the next round, having lost a pistol and consecutive rounds. So while it looks horrible very early, it can quickly change. They offer some smoke grenades towards the A-bomb site that will eventually come out, avoiding any potential counter HEs or Molotovs. Snatchy with a frag, 20 looking between these smokes. So he'll know that no one's crossed to towards CT. That is crucial information for the team on the retake.
Some money there for both teams, actually, with the bomb down for the T's. And with SMG frags 20. Oh, never mind. Never mind. He keeps getting wrecked. Like, all his money keeps getting absolutely owned. It's one of those interesting spots, you know, if you're the player who has to like kind of look after your economy a bit more. Speaking of which, 3 players very, very weak there for LDLC. That could have been a lot worse. But yeah, you know, you want 20 to have money for AWP all the time, and so it's really awkward when you're that player and you just keep getting owned. Obviously, there are a couple of spots earlier on where he could have not been so aggressive and just let his teammates do the damage. But it does create situations like this. You know, again, he's got no Kevlar and he's just glass cannon AWP, naked, no grenades to back up the AWP with or his teammates with. So that just makes things a little bit more awkward. But we'll see if they can still win the round regardless. Alex will be peeking into an AWP. This is really, oh man, oh my god.
Nice.
Having an AWP here from the T side, that is so sneaky. It's very rare that this is going to work out, but you can just never expect that to be the case. So there's an AWP there, can you?
They needed the Bardov pop flash, but Twanu was in the window and didn't have any grenades because he keeps getting frags, can't afford the grenades. Very nice pop flash you can do from the window, which would have been a superb help. Twanu has been barbecued. LDLC being deleted one by one. No frags for them just yet. Virtus.pro looking good for their first round, but there's still time on the clock here. Armanek, you can see he was playing it slow. In case Pasha didn't check his position, he could have got 2 frags there, but he'll have to settle for 1. Morel's unable to stop Logan from holding down the B bomb site for the time being, and there's a second frag for Armanek. And now we're in a 2 versus 2 from a 2 versus 5.
It was very expensive, losing 3 players there, but they did get an understanding of exactly where the 2 CTs are. So they know that they can run in towards A, and that they should understand where these engagements should be coming from. They knew that one player would be facing either from Ticket or from Jungle. So now that Mihu, because Mihu was split up with his teammate, he couldn't trade with him. And that's the problem. 20 seconds. He's pushing very far away from the bomb site here to get a frag, but it's worked out. Mihu now is going to gamble, go towards B. Now he can't know if that was the second player, the further away player, or not. And fortunately for him, it doesn't matter because Logan was rotating from B and he went the long way. Mihu may just have saved this one, but one more frag to go. And he's taken a pretty good position. And no idea where Logan is. He will come creeping through the apartments. Mihu lying in wait. He's not going to look above himself. The one blind spot. And that's where Logan is.
Sod's law, as we would say in the UK.
What does that mean, Jeff?
It means that the worst thing that can happen is going to happen, pretty much. Trust you to look at this, and then it comes from that, etc., so on and so forth. If you can be unlucky, you will be unlucky. Sod's bloody law. What is that phrase where if something can go wrong, it will go wrong? Murphy's Law?
Yes.
Eddie Murphy's Law. 2 players top mid for Virtus.pro, make it 3 in fact, but 2 spotted by Alex. 20 will take 1 out, making it a 4v4, but this will favour Virtus.pro. Minute 37 on the clock. Can 20 pull another one out of the hat? Stuck in connector for the time being. Maybe he will feel like he's at a point of no return. Neo slowly creeps on the ramp, but Logan will win that duel. Very fast moving rounds here on Mirage, but they're still all being won by LDLC.
Oh, hello, there's a knife, and there's a guy shooting you in the face. Bad timing, and LDLC will take another round, it would look like. Pasha can't do too much from this position, and there's been some very marginal rounds here. He does have the bomb, that said. He's going to drop a smoke behind him and then put play in front of it. Trying to be sneaky here, trying to catch just one more player off guard. That smoke could have been an indication that for someone to push forwards, and that's what Pasha was really counting on, but it's not the case. In this instance, LDLC holding passive spots. They've got most things covered that they need to have covered, so they don't need to really push anything, and so Pasha will have to force the engagement. The occasional spot from Logan towards connector, and Pasha just completely blind to jungle. Doesn't even decide to look in that area, which is strange. But never mind. It will be 6-0 for LDLC.
Wonder if this Virtus.pro roster will be stable over the next year. They replaced 3 of their players. I think they could benefit from some time off to change a few things, but also, again, I still think they need someone new on the outside of the team to bring them some new stratego. I don't know if they have like an analyst who looks at other teams to counter them or the situations. It's just a guesswork really, but I think a fresh pair of eyes as the 6th or 7th man would be beneficial to Virtus.pro. Got some good players on their team.
So it's one of those things which I think is also interesting, because I think when we saw that, you know, the FACEIT documentary recently, the Turning Point, where we saw some insight into coaches, I think it was particularly interesting seeing Rambo's and, you know, how he was speaking about complexity, because, you know, he put the emphasis on not necessarily the talent of the individual, but how coachable that individual is. You know, is it the right kind of person for the team? And I think that generally speaking, you know, we can really see the overall value of Complexity's sort of approach to the game. It's just very obvious when you watch them play, the level of detail in everything that they do. And so I am hoping that, you know, because we get more examples of this, Complexity, Team Liquid, MIBR, we also see it, of course, with Astralis, with North as well. We see a lot of these teams with very good approaches and internal structures and cultures. But I'm hoping that trickle-down effect keeps on happening, and we keep seeing basically the teams that do that kind of approach and can invest in that approach will be the best teams. And so if you want to be relevant, you're forced to copy what the good teams are doing. So we're getting closer and closer to what I think is going to be greater and greater Counter-Strike as a whole, which is very exciting. And as you say, VP needs something fresh. They need somebody to come in and help them with that. And they will try to harass towards B apartments. Try to keep the rotation towards B as they are looking to hit that A site with the bomb.
Moving through the underpass. Nobody top mid though for VP. Alex on short with the org. You see the smokes are now out. You'd imagine that would bring the attention of the short player towards that mid position. Oh boy, Twanu maybe with a moment's hesitation, because surely he had a window to deliver that frag. Standard stuff for the CT team, but now it's down to Armanek to try and hold down this A bomb site. Takes out Statue, but he can't stop the bomb from getting planted. And despite being 6-0 up, there's no money for LDLC. Virtus.pro have been doing damage despite not winning the rounds. So they're in a strong position to actually catch up. Looking to survive with 3 players, get their first round on the board, Virtus.pro. And as bad as this half has started out as, there is a world of potential ahead of them.
They say these guns, I do wonder what the next buy looks like. They'll get $1,400. So there's actually a world where Devaduvic can actually drop a rifle, and that Twanu will actually be able to buy for himself. Twanu will have 4,300. So as long as they keep these 2 guns alive, we will see a buy in this round. Drop some for Devaduvic. So that's 4 guys with rifles. Maybe Alex plays with CZ, I don't know. Or okay, goes Kevlar Deagle. So it's not too horrendous, and there is always a world where you can turn it around like this into a win. And they have a good amount of grenades, all things considered, too. So, was that for top mids? That's beautiful. That's a great smoke. I really need to learn the top mid smokes. I really need to learn that smoke. It's such an awesome smoke, James.
It's a cool smoke, but I think you need a plan, you need coordination behind it. I'm happy with a Molotov behind the boxes for the time being.
I just like the fact that you can quickly take mid control without having a fight, oftentimes, and just put someone there. And I think that's really cool for pugs especially. I think it can be really useful. Can threaten the fast flank.
1 minute 10. plenty of grenades versus pro. Nobody in mid, but who knows what intentions they had. They went in mid the previous round. This is almost a mirror of that one, where they start to move through the underpass at the minute mark. No execute just yet in terms of smokes towards connector and the stairs. But some smokes have just been deployed. There we go. There's a jungle connector smoke and the CT smoke to boot.
It's all very quiet, but soon there will be much noise as the smokes go away and vision is restored. The CTs will be able to make their way in, or they could decide to try to go for a 5-man save. Also a viable choice in this instance. The loss bonus will keep going up. It's a nice frag from Twanu. Although, oh, Alex, my God, was he just waiting in the site the whole time? Okay, that's a big problem. Trade in from Alex, another Deagle headshot found. He gets the AK as well. What else can he do with this? As Pasha throws the flash up high, they will double face him from connector. 4 players alive, Snatchy 15 HP. Surely they can hold him down. Surely there's nades to deal with this. There has to be a solution, and there it is. Devaduvet gets the kill, and the defuse is coming in. Just enough time for this one as well with no kit, and they will pick up an AWP. That's not a bad round from LDLC. What a way to reset your opponents. And Virtus.pro might buy because they got the bomb down as well. Well, this should not be happening, should it?
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. LDLC. Again, while they have... Well, they had matches to lose, they just lost a bunch. So perhaps the same cannot be said any longer. They're in a strong position at the moment. Destiny in their hands if they are to make it to land. Had a breakout performance in Chicago. I think it's reasonable to say. Definitely put themselves on the radar. Obviously, we've been watching the online matches, but for those who haven't seen those, for whatever foolish reason, it was a nasty surprise for them. But it was great to read the results for me. Virtus.pro now in that middle position with the hero AWP, as they've often had. Alex, he's not shy, is he, Mr. McMeekin? Devaduvet quietly rotating away from A, not giving the cues away. Some people may run towards B, for example, or keep an eye on crawl space, but run there. And that may be an indication to Virtus.pro as to what the read is of LDLC. In position now, dancing around the site is Armanek. May realize that another player is towards short. Could have some cover from his teammate, but Devaduvet's been flanked from the market position. Armanek now with the 180s, leaves Miku alone with the AWP, and he will be dispatched off, taken care of. 8-1 for LDLC. This is a monstrous start to Mirage. Monstrous start.
Complain. Exactly. It's going to be very difficult for VP if they can't turn this around very shortly. I can see Miku's bought up an AK. 2 players, though, with less than $3,400. So, yikes. Not the best situation ever. What's the call here for VP? They'll get more AKs out. And it's not the end of the world if you have 2 players that can't afford AK grenades. As you can see, they're, with 1 player buying a UMP, they can still have a lot of grenades. And it really depends on the kind of round you want to run as well, as to how many nades you even need as a T side. That's part of the benefit of being on the T side, is that you get to run your playbook, you get to take the initiative, you get to tailor it around what you have, whether it's a lot of grenades or a small amount. Let's see the connector smoke again. Gosh.
Very good.
Oh, hello, hello, hello. What? Oh, Alex is like
what is going on there?
I think his mouse died. Just stopped turning around at one point, like he gave up.
That was unusual. It must be said. It was unusual.
Oh, is that the bomb? Is that actually the bomb on his? Oh my! Gotta pick that up. Can't leave that on the stairs.
Pasha not shy to give the sound cues away. But there's not much Armanek can do about it unless he chooses to peek. Don't know if Pash is holding an angle or otherwise. It looks like he's seen a player. Yes, but Logan is ready to take it to 9-1. 4-on-4. Where are the rest of the Virtus.pro players for the most part? They have a focus towards B, starting to creep in. Devaduvek is on the site itself. Maybe here's a reload, not sure, but he spotted a play towards short, taking him out. And now in come the rest of Virtus.pro, but they'll quickly be sent away. Neo will be traded. 3 plays survive for LDLC, 9-1 LDLC.
Yeah, it's looking really bad now for VP. Have to save again. And they're not even in really a spot where, because their analyst bonus is not maximized and they spend everything, that they can really even buy much this round. They kind of have to just get a couple pistols and that's it. So you'd expect this to be a 10-1 pretty shortly here for LDLC. And that's not really all that much doing for them. Michal Müller. Thanks for the quick mid push here, again behind that smoke. And that's such a cool smoke. I mean, it's one that you could even think to try to throw every round to see what happens. Some teams will respond to that differently to others, and that can be a really big tell. You can try to encourage teams to, oh, hello. Oh my god. Well, there it is. Neo still gets the kill. That was almost a bit weird. Oh, second kill. For Neo, spots another player. They've got a really good read here. It's up to Alex to get this flank. This has to work. This has to do damage. Oh, this might be very good. He can run behind them. They won't realize because they're running as well. There it is. Oh, the strafe with the P250. And now there's no chance, surely.
And again, the money is still terrible for LDLC, so it's not even like you can... I mean, he's trying to win the round here, but just damage is a dangerous situation. And that's just one of those rounds where you're going to get wrecked by Desert Eagles. That's so annoying. As soon as you're about to shoot, they start to move. One of the more irritating things in Counter-Strike. 9-2-2 LDLC eke out a buy. They've got Logan with the AWP. He spent himself a hefty 52.50 for that one.
Pretty penny. It's been spent.
He has no Kevlar. He has a flash and a smoke. Mirage will create some presence towards the B-bomb site. Molotov around the back. Usual lurking shenanigans. And maybe that will invite LDLC to concentrate their resources towards B, but they will not be convinced. They have the 2-1-2 set up with Twanu in connector. Now we've got a late start from Virtus.pro with a smoke towards window.
Harassment is slow around here for VP. Now, it's going to be difficult here for LDLC with what they have, but that AWP could be a saving grace. Logan from Tickets with that AWP, and still just waiting here for Virtus.pro to move in. They're not really confident to make many plays. They don't have the nades to do it, and the push comes in just as they go out of the Palace window. The timing could not have been worse for Logan there. And it will likely be the round they'll want to save what they have, I'm sure. And Pash will run down Twanu. Devaduvek though with a frag. What do they do here? There is a possibility to get in, but without any nades. Oh, that's stunning from Alex. And there's still more left to deal with. Oh, he runs out of bullets. There was a chance there. Neo will be traded out, but the AWP is left. Does he have an angle? No. He could actually just go for the defuse. Does he have the kits? He doesn't. So now this gets really awkward. He knows that without that kit, he's going to get the frags, and he's going to do it. That is outrageous. LDLC, how do they win this round?
Question we've asked more than once this game already. But again, they only survive with one player. And the money for Virtus.pro looks like it's better. Neo on 7,000, Snatchy on 6,000. That said, there are only 3 rounds now for Virtus.pro to win in this half, so money's all well and good, but at some point you've got to start winning the rounds. Nice taps there from Alex. And again, the wrong angle for the bomb, forcing Snatchy forward. Goes to the point of no return. And then here we are again, LDLC resetting Virtus.pro, who have an AWP on Snatchy, 3 AKs and a Mac-10. Oh boy, that's really not good, is it? Stuck in the smoke, lost all his momentum. Losing momentum in the middle of a Molotov is one of the worst things, one of the worst feelings, because you're helpless. You know it's going to take you X amount of time, you might die, and you may have achieved absolutely nothing. But Mihu has achieved 2 headshots on the A bomb site, and that might be the round. This may be a safe situation for LDLC.
Yeah, you have to... I was going to say you kind of have to give it up, but... Snatchy is very weak, which makes him susceptible to going down very easily. And on top of that, with that kill from Alex, they're going to give this one a go. I smell burnt toast.
Alex moving in. But, well, let's see if they can do this. There's a smoke down. They've both got kits. Alex holding the T's away. Do they realize what might be happening? Oh my god, they've done it again.
Oh
Virtus.pro
no.
just cannot win a round.
Why is this a thing? Why is this a thing, James? This should not be a thing.
(11-2). We see the amount of plants that Virtus.pro are getting. I think they've had 5 plants in this half, but still only 2 rounds won.
Okay, well, Mihu will only get 1 this time, so the double he got last time. Although the trade is there, that will slow them down, and the bomb is making its way through mid. So the rotation comes in, or at least Devaduvek's trying to work out where do I go. Bomb spotted. Snatchy not, though. Now they need to be close for this UMP to do damage. Ooh, the AWP in the face. Might be round 3 for VP. Logan, there's just no way he can win this. You know, I'm going to call it right now with an MP9. Might be a gun in mid, though, for him to pick up. So that could be a mission that he could be looking to go on. And that was a bit weird. Pasha just threw the bomb down the stairs, then picked the bomb back up again.
I guess he was going to hold position for someone else to plant, then they decided, you plant, I'll hold position.
Yeah, which just like makes it all worse.
Well, it looks like that. It looks like Virtus.pro are actually going to successfully win a round this time.
Not bad. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Which is good. Only their 3rd round though. 4 possible in this half. What a great half for LDLC. I don't know where they've pulled out some of these rounds from. But again, these matches have so many implications for them. Just doing some extra damage is Logan for LDLC.
It's really weird, like the amount of rounds which got so close, but LDLC were just able to win, and it's definitely rough. I saw a new word, James. It might be applicable in class.
What's that?
Catastrophize.
Catastrophize?
Yeah, it means to...
Is that to cause a catastrophe?
No, it's to talk about something and make it sound worse than it actually is.
Ah, yes.
Catastrophize.
Almost like a dodgy narrative to catastrophize.
Ooh, whoa, okay. Okie dokie then. Straight through the smoke, knows his lineup towards connector, and that's an easy pick off. Nice angle though, up on the urn. Is it an urn? Is it a vase? What is it? Is it an urn? I want to say.
What the hell's a vase?
A vase. Vase. Whatever. Urn. I'm going with urn. And
If you start talking American, I don't know, man. I'm going to be very disappointed.
It's getting confusing.
No, why is it confusing? You've spoken English your entire life. What's confusing? There's nothing confusing about it.
There's Americans around me. So many, all the time. Anyway, Logan. His head will be put in the urn. It's not really too much to speak of for LDLC.
I can't believe you just said vase.
Vase.
The hell's a vase?
Do they even call it that over here?
I don't know what they call it that.
I think actually that's a dialect difference in the UK, vase and vase, actually.
No, it's not.
Are you sure?
I am disgusted. I am shocked and I am disgusted then. Devaduvek remains. Ooh, a weapon can be collected. The bomb has not been planted. There are 20 seconds. They have to plant it on A, and that's where Devaduvek is. He can't stop that, but he has picked up an AK-47. Mirage jumping up. Look at lovely one-tap from Devaduvek. Late highlight in a strong half for LDLC, but here we are. 4 rounds only for Virtus.pro, despite 7 bomb plants, I suppose. 8 bomb plants.
Yeah, this game could actually have been like them actually having more rounds than LDLC. Some of the rounds that they lost would have been really big swing rounds. And unfortunately for them, they were unable to win those. One of the cool things about 16-0, the analytics tool, is that it actually can highlight all of the most sort of economically impactful rounds, which is really interesting to see how teams, so you can sort of get a better sense of like how teams actually play on those rounds and which teams are more successful on them, because those rounds can convert into 2 or 3 very often. Anyway, with this push into the A bomb sites, LDLC will be looking to close the game quickly, but there's Neo from Sandwich, gets 1. Now he is going to be eaten. Snatchy will rotate around. The flashbang's pretty good, but they need to get the kills here. They just can't find the connections.
3v2. Really can go either way. Twanu's picked up a USP. Some spam from Armanek. Now Twanu, never mind, he's dead. Virtus.pro pick up a much-needed pistol round in the second half. Very quickly moving round from LDLC. But again, such is the nature of a pistol round. It goes one way, then it goes the other.
Yeah, I miss it when teams would push CT with more players, because that flashbang into CT was really effective. But then there was only 2 players peeking with it, so it was like a 2 versus 2. So it would have been cool to see more players, because the other players on the bomb site were just really... you could see they were completely isolated from one another.
In fairness, the first kill from the CTs in CT came in completely blind. So there's a stroke of luck there. Stroke of luck. Now, there is no force buy from LDLC on Mirage, as there were versus NIP in both matches, I think. So let's see how this one goes. No Kevlar. Morel's moving back with 5 HP. Smart stuff from him. He got great cover from Miku as well, so it's always nice to see little tidbits of team play like that. Only Neo goes down. All good in the hood.
So then we get the full buy for both teams, and neither team will be left with all that much after their buy. So, you know, when I was talking about swing rounds, this is one of those where for either team, it's the case that should they win it, they'll be in a great advantage in the following rounds. So momentum can be achieved if they are successful. And initial grenade thrown, and Snatchy's going to spot them as they come out here. And with Neo's grenade, it will be the frags to stop the push, but Logan will not be denied as another frag comes out from Morel's in a trading capacity. But the bomb is down on the bomb site, which allows the CTs to easily know how to position. But as I say that, Amanek with a surprising frag from Connector, and Alex now has a shot at taking the bomb.
2 players in CT. Alex creates some space, looking for something. They'll creep through the smoke as well. He will see who first. Pasha's gone past. I don't think he made a step. Alex, his bum's hanging out. And now Armanek was coming for the post plant. Now, he's got a minute on the clock. He could make it all the way to CT, although Miku's already considering that. Looking for a flank. Whereas his teammate, why is there no trade? Why is there no attempt? He must be coming from an unexpected position. Pasha's got to take cover. Could be coming from Palace Ramp, Connector, Jungle. So many options, but this Molotov will give the game away. Ooh, he's selling something. We've seen this before from Armanek. I think it was him on a retake of B who threw a molly towards short B and had jumped into the window and gone into market. I don't know what that shot was for. Maybe confuse something in CT spawn with a player model, but that will be the end of that.
I think maybe the communication was not on point there, maybe for LDLC, because Amanek was in connector as Alex was about to pick up the bomb, and we saw Alex struggling on the bomb site for a good 15 seconds at least after that, and Amanek just, I don't know where he was going, but Alex was pinned down, and Amanek could have helped him, but I'm not sure exactly what he was doing. So that's a bit strange, and with that, there's a great chance for Virtus.pro to take this game back into their hands. They only got 4 rounds in that first half, and now they are a mere 4 rounds away from tying the score. Quick burst with the pistols will get themselves some amount of ground, but the rotation's fully in. 2 players in the apps, but Neo's doing all the damage, and not too much to speak of here for LDLC.
Nice. Out comes the buy. And now, all of a sudden, the score is pretty tight, LDLC with a late timeout. So, after starting with 4 rounds in the first half, they've won the first 4 versus Pro. That does put LDLC at max loss bonus, which means big pressure for VP. However, the deficit is now 3 rounds. Now they have breathing room. They've won the initial key rounds, plenty of key rounds to come, but I think that this kind of, to come back from a 4-11 to an 8-11 and start with double AWPs is just from a mental perspective, that will surely instill the team with confidence. Our future is in our hands now. But we'll soon find out if it really is. LDLC will start with 5 AK-47s on the T side. A common occurrence on Mirage. They can pick up a opportunist AWP if they win the round and feel so inclined. So let's see.
Flashes out there. Snatchy, we know how good he is with the AWP. Ooh. Some good lineups there. Logan finding one in mids, as Snatchy was not able to see anything, but he's going to be able to get a catch there onto Tuan Nu. 4 versus 4 still favors the T's though, as the bomb is needing to be collected. You above the smoke, you got to be careful, you can be quite exposed, but it can also be a very good position if you get the element of surprise working your way. Looking for the heads, but finds none. Forced back by the flash. Logan able to get some ground towards the underpass here as Neo peeks out for looking for info. Lots of nades being expended in mid at this point. LDLC need to be able to attack a bomb site, and they're still waiting.
Less than a minute on the clock with LDLC in position around the connector area. Well, question is Miku at the moment. He's moving back towards that short position, so if they look to split the A bomb site, he will have an important role to play. Neo is expectant as well. He knows that there could be somebody in the window position, although they're playing that one slow. Now we can see LDLC deeper in connector. The timing works out as Neo's got too many jobs to do, and Snatchy will be distracted by Alex, and Devaduvek will choose that time to come out. And there goes the A bomb site. 4 versus 2, maybe save territory for Virtus.pro.
The way that LDLC set this up was actually really smart, because you can see that Logan didn't push into the window initially, so they set him up to be ready to boost into the window. And then what happened was he waited for contact to be taken towards connector, and as soon as that contact is taken, whether the 1v1 is won or lost, it draws the player away from window to look towards jungle, which is exactly the moment when Logan jumped into the window. So that kind of guarantees that even if you lose the connector push, Logan gets the backstab, and they still get the bomb down, and still should win the round. So I really liked how LDLC set that up. It's really cool. And that will be the first round for them now in the second half. 4 rounds of success for VP, and they've built enough money to, with the saved weapons, have a full buy here with 2 AWPs. Or close enough to a full buy. Neo has a decoy.
Out they come, LDLC. 3 people very... Ooh, okay, this is very, very quick from them. Nobody's in the connector position, maybe taking them by surprise. Devaduvek looking in the ladder room, and that's the bomb lost now at the hands, at the feet of Virtus.pro in that short position in the ladder room. 5 versus 2 in a matter of seconds. This is exactly the kind of round that Virtus.pro were looking for. Big advantages. Pashido maybe making too many assumptions there. And now LDLC start to come back. We've seen this before as well. Armanek not giving himself at the right angle for Miyu to get the frag, but look at that as Miyu repositions from a 5 versus 2 to a 2 versus 2.
Yeah, really good work from Armanek. Really risky stuff too, and Snatchy's angle is so strong. LDLC must use the time. That is very important here, because as we can see, they're not rushing anything. Ooh, the running's... Surely, will Neo be able to hear that? Running around. Looks like he's unaware so far, so just not close enough to hear the initial running as Neo investigates, positioning himself in ladder room. Snatchy makes himself known, and Amanek gets another great kill. He's been performing wonderfully in this round. Smoke there onto the catwalk position as Neo still defends the bomb. Oh, he gets caught by Amanek. A nice quad kill from Amanek, as you said, James. 2 versus 5 to a 2 versus 0. Unreal.
That's crazy. That is crazy. But that has been the story of this entire match, really, despite the score. Again, Virtus.pro lost so many rounds, which they had heavy favor in the first half, and it continues through to the second. It's got to be such a frustrating game for Virtus.pro. Look at the economy completely wiped out, enjoying the double sniper rifles for their second round, and everything has been lost. All their prized possessions forcefully taken to the charity shop. And now we find ourselves at 14-8 in favor of LDLC. I mean, how is that not tilting? Well, I mean, I'm sure they've been in this position plenty of times. They're back on the bye, but they cannot really afford to lose any more rounds versus Pro. 6 rounds behind now.
So what's the plan now? Stack towards A for Virtus.pro. Maybe anticipating a fast contact play or execution of some form of sets piece onto that A side, but no. No set piece there yet. We'll see mid control from LDLC instead. The classic, this is one of the classic ways to do it off of a default. 2 players top mids, 2 players going underpass. Bomber left in a safe place. They have Devaduvek watching for a pit push. And they've got this boost in window very quickly behind the smoke. Molotoving players out of position, and if they were to be standing in connector. And we see Amanek actually moving up the underpass stairs. And now watching the B-apps, creating noise in B-apps. So they're making this look very confusing for VP. But VP still 4 players stacked towards A, so they should be fine.
Out comes Devaduvek. Some inquisitive spray. Very light on utility at this point, LDLC. You can molly players out of that position from the Tetris area, but they're unable to do that, really. Only Logan has the molly, but they have cover in the guns. And there's a trade from Morels. 24 seconds for this bomb to be planted, worst case scenario. They know where Morels is, but where is Pasha? He's in a CT position now, taking out Twanu. Now the other 2 need to play a trade frac situation. The fadeaway for the HE, he knows it has to be collected. He picks perfect time, but Amanek is close enough for the trade, and that will be match point for LDLC, wiping out Virtus.pro once again, leaving them with about $3,000 per person.
Okay, so we got the MP9s out, the FAMAS, the CZ for VP. Not a great look. They went very gambly last rounds, and they may have to gamble again here because they just simply do not have enough to get it done on merit alone with those weapons. They need to get those players in the right position. Snatchy looking for a very good angle. He's going to find it. It's an unexpected one. You might find T's walking into that angle that he's holding, and here it is, pushing in. It's so strong. Only gets the 1 out of it though. And then Neo will be playing close to the pit, and they should be able to read this LDLC. They should have all the alarm bells ringing for sneaky plays. Some counter grenades there from the CTs. Very nice one.
I think that was supposed to be for the ramp position, but we'll come back to that in a second. If we even get a chance. 3 plays left for Virtus.pro, and what could be the last round of this match. I don't know if Pasha was seen as that flash came out. I didn't hear any fire, so maybe Logan didn't see him. But Alex certainly will, and Pasha is now dead. Miku in the ninja spot. You can see this from the sandwich position. And there's Alex keeping these players entertained, and Logan is still here as well, but it seems that it's enough distraction as LDLC will take position on the B bomb site before Morels can get there.
Here's the plant going in. It's an opportunity to jump through the window, run through, or wait for his teammate. And with the MP9, it's a very difficult decision. You may want to close the distance immediately in fear that you might not be able to if you let the T set up post-plant. And they've got 2 Molotovs to work with as well. So surely those will be raining in towards market soon enough. But no, the guns are kept out, and now Mihi's left. And looking like it's going to be it. Indeed, 16-8, LDLC, after getting crushed by NIP, will deliver the same treatment, but this time to VP themselves.
Yeah, and again, I think that's one of the more frustrating matches we've seen from the Virtus.pro perspective. Again, going back to this first half, so many rounds where they had advantages, but it just couldn't convert almost any of the rounds, finishing with just the 4 rounds in the first half, bringing it back with 4 rounds in a row in the second one. But again, LDLC just kept getting the edge on Virtus.pro round after round, took it over the line. And again, it's a very important W in the bag for LDLC as they try to qualify for LAN.
Well, it's really nice seeing stuff like this from Daviduvek. Individually, great performances all across the board, and perhaps that's something that they can carry into the next matchup against VP. Very impressive indeed.